Hi, it's Sandra here from Create in Spain. Now, the other day I made a video which featured handbags for advent calendars for the ladies, and I did say that I might do a male version for the guys. This is what I've come up with. It's two versions of a file that can be made in different designs. You could make it as a lunch pail, a briefcase, or indeed a treasure chest, depending on the materials you used and the finishing touches that you apply. Now, I've made it in two different types. One has a fixed base and opens on the top. Now, this is really only suitable for a single use because someone is likely to damage it when they open it up, because you will need to put some kind of adhesive on that in order to keep it shut. The other version has an opening on the base instead, and I've also added a little tab so that if you're hanging it up and if you're concerned that it's going to come open, you can glue the tab shut on the base itself. Now, you might wonder why I didn't make it so that it had a slit to go into, and the reason is because I found it far too difficult to actually get it closed and get this into the slit. At the end of the day, it was easier and more efficient to do it this way, so that it will go like that, and you can either use a piece of temporary tape or some temporary glue in order to keep that shut and support the base. So in order to make up the file, it's similar to the handbag, but a little bit on the different side for making up, if you're going to do the one that has the opening base. I have made the straps and the buckles, and I've threaded the buckles on the straps, and I've glued them to the front already. You want to do this before you make up the rest of the card. The strap for the hand, or the handle, whatever you like to call it, goes in the same way as the handbag one did, through the slits. Again, use a pin to open these up if need be, so that it makes it just a little bit easier to thread the strap through. And that will go through like so. Now, I've made the strap pretty much the right length so that if you put glue on either side here, it will reach to one side and to the other. So, if you want it slightly longer, then don't put as much down there, but it will reach from side to side pretty much. And put some glue there, pull a bit more through. Now, a word of caution, if you're using a very thick card, then I would advise that you take this piece and you roll it around something like a chunky pen or a broom handle or a mop handle to get a bit of a curve on it. This card, for example, is thicker and it's not as malleable, and it's inclined to sort of have this crack effect if you don't wrap it around something round to start off with. And of course you can't do it once you put the thing together, so don't make the same mistake I did. Now, all we need to do is to close the side with this tab here, and you can see the box taking shape. Try and make sure you get it lined up nicely to keep it nice and neat, and hold it closed for a second. I am using a fast drying wood glue that I can rely on, having made these sorts of things with other glues in the past and even double-sided sticky tape, and after a while it all came undone. I was not impressed. There we go. So that's that bit done. So we can now close the box up. Don't glue it shut because you are going to need to use the base in order to fill it at some point. So you don't want to glue it shut now. Now, the other thing that I need to warn you about is when you're gluing the buckles and the straps on, make sure you only glue that area and don't glue up here, because you need to put the lid over the top. Obvious, I know, but ask me how I know. There are times when I think I shouldn't be let anywhere near a craft room. Okay, so pull it over to where you want it to be. And this is probably the trickiest bit of the whole lot. Wrap that back down to the back, and then get your glue. Try not to put it over your hands like I'm doing, and stick that down. Now you need to hold it there until it's ready to be released, because you don't want it coming off. You really don't. And I close the base because it gives you a little bit more support when you're doing it. And this strap here can now go on there, like so. And you can stick your finger inside to grip it to make sure that it adheres properly. Or in fact, you can now open the box if you can actually get it open again. There we go. So you have your box done. Once it's open, you can trim off any excess tag or strap that you don't want, like so. Now if you don't want this little piece on here, you can trim it off, but it's a good idea, I think, if you're going to hang this, at least. If you're going to just put it on a flat surface, then it probably isn't going to be an issue. But if you are going to hang it, I would suggest that you do use that little tab to finally close it shut. And there you have it. I think it's really sweet. Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to give a pun there. But I think it's quite an adorable little thing for an advent calendar for the guys. And you could do it, for example, you could do it in the brown and then make wooden marks on it, you know, like the grains of wood and things like that. And that would be quite fun as well as a treasure chest. I just wanted to include a word about the top opening variety. These are made very slightly differently. You need to put the straps and the buckles on while they're flat, but you put it on from the front edge. The strap goes from the front all the way across the base and then over the back, and you're left with the extra length at the front. Don't chop the extra length off because you need it to fasten them up. The buckle is only glued along the center of its form. It's not glued top and bottom, just across the center bar. Now you need to put this on and get it to be stuck down firmly to be dried before you do the rest, because otherwise, you know, if it's going to slide around and move around, it's not going to be very easy to do. But other than that, you make it up in the same way. But this one is really only likely to last for a single use, unless you've got someone who's very careful in opening them up. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe if you like, give me a thumbs up if you like, and I'll see you again soon.